All right, hopefully this is working. I'm gonna ask if you're here, if you're hanging out, let me know if the audio is okay. I'm gonna try to do a quick speed run of starting from scratch. We got a little Kubernetes Pi cluster over here on the other camera, and we've done it before. Like, we know how to stand up Kubernetes on Raspberry Pis. This is a four node cluster of Raspberry Pi 5s. What we're gonna do a little bit different than what we've done recently is we are going to use SD card or USB. We're going to install it. So from scratch, like the only thing that we've done is plug in the network. That's it. So let's get going. Let's see how fast we can do this. So the first thing, I'm going to use the Raspberry Pi imager to get this going. I'm choosing the Raspberry Pi 5. I'm going to choose another general purpose Ubuntu, the server OS for Raspberry Pi 5. And then we choose the storage. I've plugged in a USB drive, and we'll go. You can't see my screen. Let's bring that up. So again, Raspberry Pi 5. I've chosen the Ubuntu server, and then this USB drive. So we'll go. I'm going to edit some settings. I'm going to change the name. I've done this before. We're going to call this 0. The first one we're going to do. I'm going to set up some default configuration. I'm setting up some keys and stuff so that I can log into it when I'm done. And we're going to use that. So let's go build it. So this is building a USB drive. I'm burning Ubuntu server onto USB drive. We're going to shove that in, and then we'll plug in the Raspberry Pi, and then we'll have a node. And what we'll do from there is we'll do two things at once. We will deploy this node. We'll call 0 the controller node, and we'll get that going, because you don't need multiple nodes, but we're going to do multiple nodes because it's just a little bit more interesting, and that's it. But this is the hardest part. Building the host operating system is the hardest part, and there's a couple of steps that I'm just remembering that I forgot to talk about, or I forgot when I was thinking about how long this would take. So I'm pulling up some cheat codes. I think I wrote it down somewhere. We'll get to it. It'll be fine. And then the other thing that we're doing, we're building Kubernetes, but then we're also going to use Korifi. And if you've tried this before, you've run into things. Oh, the tunes are louder than I am. Hey, Keith, I am glad that you are here. Let me figure out if I can figure out how to do that. But thank you for telling me. Here, oops, I didn't want to do that. Let's bring this one, and I'll turn it down a little bit. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps. But I like having tunes in my ears while I'm doing this. Fantastic. Hopefully that's better. Thank you so much. And yeah, here we go. We're back at it. Raspberry Pi. I have it. Let's take it out of there. So we're gonna take now this Raspberry Pi USB drive, just a USB drive. We're gonna take that. We're gonna get it started over here. So let's go in one of these drives. Zoink, and I'm gonna give it some power. And one of these. Oops. Off camera. Oh, hey. I'm gonna give it some power. And that should be all we need to do to have an operating system. So then let's go and let's see. That's gonna boot up. Thank you for this feedback. I'm glad you're here. And I'm looking forward to our chat later today. And let's see, how long do we think it'll take? Let's ping coffee soft 0. Not quite there yet. That's fine. What we're going to do in the meantime is we're going to grab another one of these USB drives, and we'll get it started. And we'll do as much of this in parallel as possible. So I'm going to throw in my USB drive. I'm going to go back to our Pi imager. I'm going to choose everything is the exact same. I'm going to choose this new USB drive. And then I'm only going to change one setting. I want this one to be copy soft 1. Save. Yes, do it. Yeah, continue. Build that drive. And let's see if this will, give it some permissions. And then let's see if this is up yet. Still not up. That's okay. We're building our second drive. We'll plug that in. We're just gonna keep on going. Like this is the hardest part. It just takes the longest as well. And today, the real exciting thing is I figured out I've been running Korifi on my Macs for a long time, and I was like, oh, of course it's gonna run on a Raspberry Pi. Like they're both ARM64. Like what? How hard could it be? Well, today the reason why I wanted to do this stream is because I want to show you the one difference, the one key that makes it work. Because the problem, most of Korifi is custom resource definitions, and yeah, and that's doesn't care about what operating system, what architecture that you're using rather, and yeah, and a lot of the other bits that Korifi uses are already multi-architecture. They have ARM64 and x86 deployments. So let's get this one out. And this is a 4-node cluster, so this is number 1, green, or copy soft 1. So we're just gonna get that USB drive in. We're gonna grab another power. That one's spun up. Fantastic. Let's see if that first one is up. Why is it not working? I'm wondering it's because I use the same. Oh, there we go. Says hey. Because I was using those same before. I wonder if that's going to give me a headache. So let me take a quick peek here. I'm going to look at my Ubiquiti to see if I'm getting the same IPs, if I got a DNS cache issue. But either way, this is trivial stuff. Let's go to our clients. I'm looking for the wired ones. And here we go, copy soft 0 is, it still says it's 155. But I wonder if it is actually 155, or if it's going to get a new one. And this initial boot, it does take some time. So I booted these up with SD cards the first time, and I expected that I can still boot up with the USB drives. And I didn't test this before jumping on the stream. I think it'll work, but I could be completely wrong. So let's go see. Should this work? I'm looking at the activity lights here, and I kind of expected some action, and I'm not seeing it. I don't think there's anything that I need to do. This is a Raspberry Pi 5 USB. Yeah, it should be right. Now the power button. Does anyone know it works? Yes, I do it. Same. USB boot is disabled if you don't use a 5-volt. So get the official one. Wait. It's not disabled. It displays a warning about the lack of available power. You can click the power button to silence that and try to boot anyways. Do I have 3 amps or 5 amps? Also, headless cannot see the warning. You have to read the full document. Probably wouldn't run anyway. It was hard enough for people on the Pi 4. Yeah, headless can't see the warning. Headless will only see the one long, one short link code. that what I saw? Oh. Maybe that is what I'm seeing. So I saw it on this top node. You see that? Do you see the bottom node? Link. And then it back to green. Okay, so that is the warning. So I need to do something. I'm not gonna look at that one. I have another one sitting here. I think that this is the power button here. This little one here. So let's try that. Let's try hitting the power button. Okay, I got them both to red. Now I'm gonna hit it again. I got green. Oh, I got the same flash. How do I get through it? I thought you can then click the power button to silence that and try to boot anyways. Can I just tap it one time? Tap. Let's see. Raspberry Pi. USB. Alright, here's how you can change the boot priority. Wait half a minute for USB boot. Utility to switch the start to priority. Wait, what? Ever since if you're rocking a relatively newer Raspberry Pi, there's no reason to bottleneck your projects by using an SD card. So let's do this. Changing the boot priority. Download the Raspberry Pi Manager. We did that. Run the tool. What? Yeah, choose model. Did. Wait, miscellaneous utilities tab. Click on bootloader. Restore the factory default settings and change boot priority. Oh, maybe we should do that. Okay, we can do that. So, wait, do I have to? And then, okay. So this is something I have to do, I guess. Let's grab one of these SD cards. And let's do this real quick. I'm gonna put my SD card in here. And I'm gonna say that. We can follow the instructions. That can't be too hard, right? I missed what Korifi is. Yeah, Korifi. Cloud Foundry. Korifi is Cloud Foundry on Kubernetes. It's the best way to deploy. Cloud Foundry is awesome. And this, I'm going to give myself the Cloud Foundry experience or close to it on my Raspberry Pis. So let's go here. Let's go Raspberry Pi. Let's change this to the miscellaneous utility images, the bootloader. We want this. Choose the storage. I want it there. Next. Yep, that's fine. So this image will then change the boot order for my devices. And we'll run that once, and I'm assuming it's going to change those EEPROM settings. All right, it's done. Let's take that disk. So, and I'm just going to take this micro SD card. I'm going to put it into each of these devices, and I'll have it boot up, and then I'll take it out. Let's see what happens. What could possibly go wrong? Give me a flashy. Okay, off. Come back on, please. Okay, green light. SD card is working, doing its thing. Hopefully it's changing the priority. And saying, yeah, go ahead and boot from the USB drive. That looks like an error signal. That doesn't look like activity. Well, let's give it a sec. Let's see. Let's see. Hey, what could possibly go wrong? Here's what we'll do. We will, we're gonna unplug that one, and we'll try it on the other drive. Let's see what we get. Okay, I got a green light. Did it do its thing? I mean, it shouldn't have to do a whole lot. Alright, so maybe that's ready. Take it out. Let's plug in C1. 0. Let's see if they're ready to rock. Let's see if they boot from the USB drive now. Nope, I got the same signal. I got long flash, short flash. Okay, so I'm doing something wrong. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do to like see what's happening. Hold on. I've got this little monitor that I can use to plug in and make sure, so I can see the output because we're doing headless right now. Let's see what we get. I need an HDMI with all these cords everywhere. I should have one. we'll get some details as to what's going on. So I'm going to plug in this HDMI adapter into this one. Let's see if I can get some signal. But I got to give this monitor some power. It needs DC micro USB. So I'm just grabbing a USB, micro USB cable, plugging it into my same power strip. USB power strip. This cord doesn't fit for what I'm trying to do. I can find all the cords I need when I don't need them. I can find all the cords when I don't need them. And then when I do need them, again. All right, and the screen says time partition 0. Next treatment. Disable this check, set USB NA, or press the power button. Temporarily enable. Continue booting. Try next boot mode. I hit the power button. Well, this isn't going the way that I had hoped. Not going the way I had hoped, and that's okay. No fear. We will figure it out. He says, I've always just used Debian. Can you toss us some of the advantages for using Ubuntu is based on Debian? And I like that I have upstream to go and get support. I like that they put out releases. They actually have releases that do the things that I need for my Raspberry Pi. Like they'll put in the extra modules to make my Raspberry Pi supported, so I don't have to compile my own kernels. So that's the main thing. Miguel says, hi, what kind of Raspberry are you using? These are Raspberry Pi 5s with 8 gigabytes. And what I'm trying to do is just get them to boot from USB, and I'm not sure what I've done wrong here. So let's do this. Let's go back to our SD card. Let's see if this works. So, this and I will power off. Okay, I'm put in this utility this in there. In. Let's see what we got. I'm not sure if green screen is what we want. Wait a half minute for the USB boot utility to switch the startup priority from the micro SD. Okay, so I gotta wait 30 seconds. Maybe I was just being impatient. We can do that. We can do that. So my speed run was not successful. I thought this would be a whole lot easier, and I'm realizing it was successful. I was expecting it to be successful because I've already done. So yeah, on my other devices, on the 4s and the 3s, I'd already gone in and made that adjustment. I've already updated the hardware to take USB. But I expect some kind of signal. Like, that's been 30 seconds, right? So I did this. Once the Raspberry Pi is finished flashing utility, unplug the micro SD card, plug in the Raspberry Pi, wait a half minute to switch the startup priority. Yeah. So maybe I just wasn't waiting long enough. So that's easily been 30 seconds, right? So let's power it off. The USB drive, because somebody's blog said so, right? Oh, I got different signals, so this is good. Okay, so it's booting. Am I stuck on the same spot? Oh, no. Try next boot mode. That's the right thing. NVMe USB boot, right? Yeah. That's what I wanted. Oh, and it looks like it's going now. Wait. It teased me. I wonder if it's walking through the different USB drives. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to let that hold me up. I'm going to go here. I've got that drive. I'm going to just do these other two. Because that's how I roll. We're going to go back to general purpose Ubuntu server choose the storage, this guy, and I'm going to change the settings. This is number 2. Use those settings. So everything else is the same. It's the same as the others. Yeah, it'll be erased, and that's okay. Like, we're not going to look back. So I am very glad that you're here. You have been top of mind. Not only am I doing Kubernetes, I'm taking it one step further, and I'm doing Korifi, which is the Cloud Foundry API on Kubernetes, and I'm doing this on Raspberry Pis. So I'm getting all of the CF push goodness on this little stack of Raspberry Pis, which is like really, really cool. It's kind of a little, if you love Cloud Foundry, this is really slick. So that's what I'm doing. But right now, my approach for getting the USB drives booting doesn't seem to be working. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. I'm gonna just give it time. I think it might be trying each USB drive. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going not just Kubernetes, Korifi, which is Cloud Foundry on Kubernetes. So neat. Your volume is a little bit low, by the way. Okay. Volume. So that's probably just that I'm floating around. Let me see if I can hit some buttons. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. I'm gonna go over here and hit this button. Maybe that'll help. So thank you for telling me. This whole streaming thing is weird, but I really want this to work. And I was hoping to do a speed run, but again, right? The estimating is hard. But I know once I get it booting from USB, that it'll be just fine. I just can't understand what is happening. Why it's not. Why isn't it booting? I didn't think I had to do this on the Raspberry Pi 5s. I thought that this just worked. I'm able to boot from USB on Raspberry Pi 5. We'll see. Right? 2 months ago, both SD flash. Yep. What I've done after booting, I moved the SD card. Green light flashes 2 times, goes solid green. Right? That's what we're doing. I see activity with my USB drive. Status light flashes a couple of times. Some power related data on my system. For the sake of honesty, no, I don't use a push power supply. I'm not using a push power supply. More output. This. I don't feel like I can really say this is a real answer, but it's not my problem. The Raspberry Pi. So here's where they're working. I did different comments on the YouTube clip. I tried all these and nothing works except to buy the push power supply. That's exactly how it was for me. It wasn't enough that I had my 100 watt USB-C laptop charger to supply power. The solution is to buy and use the official charger. I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So okay, so maybe we're at a little thing, but we have a backup plan. So I won't do the USB. I'll just go back and I'll just do SD card for now. That's fine. Like, no biggie. So let's take this card that we were doing before. We just redo it. Like, software is soft for a reason. Software is soft so that we can do things like this. So it won't take that long. Okay, so Raspberry Pi 5 here. Except what we're gonna do this time is we're gonna say, let's put it over here. And I'm gonna go back to 0, edit settings. This is gonna be our bottom one. Use those settings. All right, that's fine. It's fine. We'll just do SD cards. And I'll come back to the USB drive later. That's fine. All right, so let's turn that power off. Off. We'll turn this power off. I'm going to, there's no cards. I'm going to take out these USB drives. That's fine. And then we can move this so we can see our functions here. All right, so this, oh, I thought that was going. We're gonna build 4 of these discs. Okay, this is the hardest part. So, start out, I'll do a video like, hey, edit, this is where we're gonna go. We're building the host OS. Again, but we're gonna go all the way through. This is where we're gonna start our speed run. So we're at 36. The SD cards take a little bit longer to write, and that's fine. But we'll do a few of these. So I got 3 other discs over here. 1, 2, 3. Those 3 discs. Those are the other ones that we'll use. They're all the same. These are the ones that I bought a week or so ago. And we're gonna burn them all with Ubuntu. And then we'll throw them in. We'll do the things. One of the things I wanted to check, do I need Raspberry Pi Ubuntu 24.10, the C group settings? Do I still need to do that? Enable C group memory doesn't take effect. The Ubuntu is it necessary? I believe the CPU is already enabled. Oh, so I can just do this? Okay, so instead of just doing the extra steps that I was doing for my previous blog, we're gonna go look at this and we'll see. Interesting. So we'll try it. And if it doesn't work, we'll just try something else. Let's go see. This is almost done. It's still gonna be a speed run. We're still gonna be done here in 30-ish minutes. Tops. And most of it's just gonna be building these discs. Alright, so we have a disc. Let's grab that disc. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna do some of these things in parallel. I'm gonna take this one out, I'll put it in over there, but I'm gonna start the next one. I'm gonna put a new one in, and I'm gonna start the next one. Before I go and install it, I just gotta keep these discs in place. Choose storage. Oh. That one. Next, edit settings. We'll do that one's gonna be 1. Save. Yes. I gotta type in a password. So now that one's burning. While that one's burning, I'm gonna go put disk 0 into this machine. This is like the infrastructure part. Turn it on. And actually we'll see a little bit of stuff on the display because that one's plugged in. Fantastic. So far so good. So that's CopySoft 0. We'll make that our control node. Tunes are drowning out your mic most of the time. Okay, let me go and fix that. Let me see. Oop. Where's the button? Oops, not that. How about that? How about that? I think I have it figured out. We'll see. But thank you for the feedback. That's what I want. We'll find the nice spot for this to work. I heard a beep, and I'm wondering if I'm supposed to be in a meeting or something. And I don't know where the beep came from. So I'm now searching through a bunch of open windows on other screens to see if I'm late for something. I don't know where it came from. I obviously didn't get to it in time. What could possibly go wrong? All right, this one's going. This one looks like it's coming up. You can't see that screen. It does look like it's coming up. So we'll swap and we'll keep on going. So this is CopySoft 1. I'll set CopySoft 1 right there, and I'm gonna start burning Coffee Soft 2. There. Next, edit settings, change one value, put the same keys, put the same default users on it, and then let's go put Coffee Soft 1 in this other machine. One is going in. I'll hit the power button. Okay, that was coming up. All right. Oops, forgot to do this. Okay, so that's Coffee Soft 2 burning. Now let's go over here. And this is Control R. What is it? I want to. I'm trying to learn these new. Clear L. There we go. Let's see if we can SSH to Coffee Soft 0. Boom. That's the first one. Yes. So again, this is the hard part. Sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade, because I like to be on the latest. So go and put all the latest and greatest stuff on there while we keep on moving forward. So that's 0. New tab. Let's see if we can SSH to Coffee Soft 1. It's up. Let's do the same thing. Let's get it going. Sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade. Just go do the updates. I trust you. I installed your operating system. I'm gonna take your updates as well. So we're gonna go over here. We're gonna create a new tab. We're gonna go back over here to our Raspberry Pi imager. And we were hoping that it was a little bit further along. That's okay. This is gonna work. This is gonna work. Okay. So yeah, the important part here is like be in front of the mic. The mic is set up so when I'm going over here, it's not as good and it drowns out. So be in front of the mic. Good idea. Good idea. And when I'm doing stuff like this between locations, I have another mic set up where I could keep it like on me, and that might work better as well. But thanks for that feedback. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to get better. We're gonna wait for this. This is Coffee Soft 2. We got one more disk to create. So let's get this one out of here. Coffee Soft 2. And the last one we're gonna make is Coffee Soft 3. We're using SD cards, begrudgingly using SD cards, but it's still gonna work. Settings, this is just number 3. So go. Oh, I'm gonna do this. And then let's go put 2 in the drive. And there, let's get some power. Let it come up. Well, this one goes, and then let's check on zeros going. It's making progress. 1 is going. I don't know how long this will take to come up. SH Coffee Soft 2 is the next one. I'm just looking at the lights to see, if I get a signal that says, hey, we're ready. I'm ready for traffic. I'll show, I think you can see those lights are kind of flashing down there. Can I do that? I think I can show. I see the lights. Fantastic. All right, we're good. 2 is up. Accepting traffic. Sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade. Go. Do your thing. 0 is ready. And somewhere it said, hey, restart. Or maybe it didn't, but we're gonna restart anyways. We're just gonna say sudo shutdown R now to do the restart. So that's 0 that restarted. We're gonna do the same thing over here. Sudo shutdown and reboot it. Well, that one's upgrading. And then what we're gonna do is once we get in, we're gonna take a look and see, do we really need to enable the CPU settings? That these, right? These are the C group enable CPU set. Do I need to do that? So we're gonna just take a look and we're gonna take a guess. Like, do we need to do it? Well, I'm not gonna make any other edits. So here is the last disk is ready. Let's throw that last disk in. So we have all 4 of these Raspberry Pis up and running. And let's give this last one power. Power's good. No, it's not the 5-volt Raspberry Pi power. Sorry. I can only do so much. But let's go back here and let's do this. Look here. Should be there. This is L. There you go. So CPU set. Okay, so this is 0. So I think I do need to. I have HB nodes I've installed. I need to set up C groups and the various instructions, right? I've seen the following setup, right? This is what I was planning on doing, but his setup is showing it's already set. This is subsystem name. This is the hierarchy. This is the num C groups enabled. So I've already got it enabled too. So maybe I don't. And you know, he's looking at like, hey, I had to set CPU set, memory, C group memory. Yeah, and I had that same thing in my blogs, and I just don't think that I need to. So let me go here, and I'll show you exactly what I was talking about. I've got a few of them where I was making those same changes, but I'm not going to this time. So at this point, I've got CoffeeSoft 0 that's been rebooted. CoffeeSoft 1's been rebooted. CoffeeSoft 2 is being rebooted. And let's go over to 3. SSH CoffeeSoft 3. And we're going to do all the sudo apt update, and we're going to give it a boot. Sudo apt update, sudo apt upgrade -y. Like do the things. Everybody's been done. This has been booted, rebooted. So now let's get out of here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do our K3 sup. Did I take a note of that? Because I just want to give it the same names. Where did I put it? I do have it. Delete. So the last time I did this on stream, I was kind of like going through and saying like, hey, here's how much everything cost. I installed Ubuntu 24. So these are the same steps. We did the shutdown, and I did all of those steps. I said I use Ubuntu by default. I didn't do, again, the proxy, and that's okay. We're just trying to go fast. We're going to do the K3 sup. We already have K3 sup. We're going to install the control node. I'm going to just grab this. Hello. Here, I'm going to grab this command, and we'll talk about it. So it's saying, hey, I want to install a control node on this 10.99.1.55, which I think is still thing copy. So it doesn't matter if it is or not. So it's 157 this time. So let's do that same thing. Oop, hello. It says, hey, because we're going to change it from 155 to 157. And go and install it. And I said, don't install traffic. Don't install that for ingress. So now we're going to install. We're installing Kubernetes, K3s flavor of Kubernetes onto that CoffeeSoft 0. This is giving us our node. Fun. I have a cluster with water cooling, radiator, and fan plumbed to several Pi 5s with extra manifolds, but I never liked mixing water and electricity using .5 silicone brake fluid. Very cool. I did the water cooling one time, but I bought a kit. I bought a water cooling kit, and it was on the, I think it was on the Raspberry Pi 4s. And then I tried to do it on light potatoes, but that is cool. It looks cool. Yeah. One of the other things that I'm trying to do with the Raspberry Pis is I want to keep the low power stuff. I want to keep it, and we'll start measuring the power, and we'll go from there. But here at this point, now I've got a Kube CTX. We're using this Coffee software cluster, and I've got Kube Cuddle get nodes dash O wide, and I've got one node that should be ready. And I had that set up from before. So what I need to do is I installed it, but I tried to merge it. Can I do this? kubectl. I have notes. I don't remember what I need to do. I didn't delete my Kubernetes context info, and when I tried to do this, when I tried to merge it, it had the old IP. It had that old IP. Did I do it right? Yeah, I want to have a cleanup. I know what I need to do to clean up somewhere here. Posts. Here we go. Yeah, do the things. I'm going to do this. Delete cluster coffee software. Okay. And then that works. Hey. And then we're going to delete the context. And then the user. Cool. And now let's do this same command, but this time I don't need to do the install. I think it'll still work. I think this will be just fine. It's gonna say, oh yeah, we're already good. We see everything there. Like, I can skip all these things. Now let's do Kube Cuddle, get nodes. There we go. There's our one node that's ready. I'm gonna just bring this down a little bit so we can make it all one line. Boop. Show it again. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Oops, that was a mistake. Here, this is what I wanted to show. All right, so now we got one node ready, and that's my control plane node. But now I want to add these others. I got these other ones, right? I got CoffeeSoft 1. Let's add it to this cluster. We have our little command. It's here. Copy. Wait, don't do it. Because I want to add to 157. Oh wait, I need to know what's Coffee Soft 1. What's the IP? Is 1112. So I want to add 1112 to 157. The IP address of Coffee Soft 1 is 1112. And I want to join that node to this cluster, that 157, which is this master node. And the user Deshaun, that's the user that I installed with when we burnt the images. I put that in my extra settings. So now, yeah, now I've got 2 clusters. Hello. I will explain. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a speed run. I've taken brand new Raspberry Pis. I installed the operating system on them. I chose Ubuntu, and now I've booted them up with Ubuntu, and now I'm installing Kubernetes on them. So I'm going to have a cluster. These Raspberry Pis that you see here on the screen, these Raspberry Pis right over here, those are all going to be, treated as just infrastructure, and I'm going to let Kubernetes decide where to put workloads and how to handle it. So I'm just going through from 0 to having Kubernetes running, but I'm going to go one step further because Kubernetes is great, but it's still a little bit too much for me. It's complex. If I want to go fast, I want something like Cloud Foundry. So that's what I'm doing. I'm installing Korifi, which runs on top of Kubernetes, but it gives me the Cloud Foundry API. So when I want to deploy an app, all I do is cf push. That's the main thing. So now that I've installed I've installed 2 nodes into this cluster. So I've got my control plane node, and now I have a worker node. So that's just 2, but I've got 4 nodes in this cluster, so let's just do it one more step. So let's ping the new one that we want to add, Coffee Soft 2. Let's get its IP address. It's 116. So now we're just going to add that node, the .116 node. We're going to add it to the same cluster. It's just going to take a few seconds. But this is how Kubernetes works. K3s is a lightweight version of Kubernetes, fully compatible version of Kubernetes. And K3 Ketchup, K3 Sup, the command that I'm using, is a tool that makes installing with K3s really easy. So it's installed, it looks good. Let's go look at our cluster now. Now I've got 3 nodes in my cluster, but I treat them as one cluster, right? I don't care how many nodes there are. When I'm doing CF push, I don't care where things go. I have infrastructure. I want to maximize that infrastructure. So that's what I'm doing. So the last thing is we did this one. We updated all of the operating system. We said, hey, update all the libraries, give me all the patches that you can, but I haven't rebooted this node yet. So I'm gonna do this real quick. Sudo shutdown -r now. Reboot that node. So that's the last of the 4 nodes that we're gonna do. I'm gonna close some of these tabs because we don't need them. That's kind of me just keeping track. And we'll wait for that to come up. And it might be up already. Let's ping. Hopstop 3. There, it's 124. Oh, it's not quite up. We'll wait for it to respond to my ping. There we go. And then we'll add it to the cluster. 124. So at this point, you could stop. Like this is where we stopped before. And having Kubernetes dial tone on Raspberry Pis, that is exciting. But if you've ever dealt with Cloud Foundry, if you've ever played with Cloud Foundry, Kubernetes is not enough. Kubernetes and Cloud Foundry are miles apart. And I want my Cloud Foundry experience. I understand Kubernetes and it has a place, and very few organizations are all in on Cloud Foundry or all in on Kubernetes or all in on mainframe, right? Most enterprises have most even startups have more than one deployment strategy for their workloads. But now I've got a cluster that's running on Raspberry Pis, and that cluster, the full price of everything that it took is here. Let's jump in. And what we talked about last time was like, hey, that's kind of a lot of money, $458. But I'm including the Raspberry Pi 5. There's 4 of them, which gives me a higher availability, right? If one of those things goes down, if I need to replace a drive, like I've spread out, I'm not all eggs in one basket. I bought 4 SD cards. I'm including the cables, everything that it takes to do this little experiment. The Cat 6 cables, the Anchor charger that I'm using. The Anchor charger it's back here. It's just an Anchor USB charger that everything's plugged into. Yeah, everything it takes to run this. The charger, the switch, the mini, it's under here. That's just a little lightweight mini switch. All at $458. And what that means is each one of those has 4 cores, 4 CPUs. So that's 16 cores, and then that 8 gigabytes per. So then I've got 32 gigs, right? So 16 cores, 32 gigs of RAM. And that's $450. And what I did last time is I went and I compared it to this. Because they're both ARM64. I went over here to the Mac Mini. Which it's a great deal, right? For starting at $599. Let's go look. You know, at $599, you only get 10 cores and 16 gigs of RAM. I put 128 gig cards in those, but still, like disk, we can figure that out. But for $458, and that's not just the compute. I have all, like, again, the network, the power, the everything. $458. It was cheaper than going and buying one of these. And I'm running Kubernetes. And now, this is the fun part. This is the really cool thing, is now the install for Korifi. And this is where, if you've ever gone down the path of installing Korifi on Raspberry Pi, you ran into a problem, and I'm gonna walk through that. So here's our install instructions. I have a little cheat sheet over here where I did this earlier, so that's why I was excited to do the stream. So it says, hey, do the stuff, have all your tools. I have all the tools. Then do the setup. I have this set up. Let's see if I can cat that. I have a password in there, so I won't cat the whole thing. But yeah, I have this set up. And what we'll do is we'll bring this over. So what we're going to do now is we're going to follow the instructions. I've done this. We're going to set up the Docker. I already did the Docker Hub account. That's the password that I put in there. I didn't do all the steps. But we're going to install Cert Manager. So on this cluster, right, do CTX. Let's do it like this. Let's show it off here. Right, here's what we have. I hit 0. So this is everything. It's got metric server, it's got kube system, and it's got the core DNS. It's running. Let's make it look a little bit prettier. So we'll run this. We'll show this, but we'll also go back to our other. Yeah, we'll do this too. Actually, let's do this. Boop. Let's do 2 tabs. Because I want to be able to flip back and forth and show you the coolness. Right, so hey, we're in Korifi Pi here. We're in Korifi. Let's just do this K9s. I'm in the same context, so that's my same Kubernetes cluster. And now over here, what we're going to do is first, we are going to install Cert Manager, and with Kubernetes, all I have to do is apply the Cert Manager YAML. That's how you deploy stuff. Everything is YAML all the way down. So that's just these instructions. So all I'm doing is going through, and that's the command that I ran. Install the latest Cert Manager. And we can go take a peek, and it's installing. Fantastic. Now, KPAC, this is where you probably ran into problems before. This is where me, a year ago, I was like, oh, this would be great. If I can get KPAC to do all of my things, this would be wonderful. So I went over to the instructions. It says, hey, do this, grab the version. All right, that's cool. I have that copied over here. The latest version is 0.15. Let's go run it. So let's do some more YAML. Okay, release 0.15.0, the latest. Now, this is where you're gonna run into problems. You're gonna be like, but Deshaun, I'm trying to install KPAC and it's failing. And it's failing because the exec type. It says like, hey, the images for KPAC, they're made for x86. What gives? What are you going to do? Right? It doesn't. There's no ARM64 images for KPAC. But I'm running it. I'm running Korifi. I've been running Korifi. If you've been watching me for the last year, I've been running Korifi on ARM64 Max. How come I can't do it on Raspberry Pis? Well, duh. Like this is it. This is the main thing. So I used my good friend, the GPT, and I made some YAML that is going to help me get through it. And let's go talk about that. Let's look at this bin format. So this bin format, this is going to install QEMU emulation so that I can emulate x86, so I can run x86 inside of my cluster. It's going to deploy it as a daemon set. So every node in my cluster is going to be able to execute x86 images. So all we're going to do is we're going to deploy that. Why didn't I have that part in my notes? It's just this. Kube cuddle, apply -f the bin format daemon set. So now it's deploying that daemon set. Boop. Back. It's deploying that so that we have that bin format running on every node. And then look at this. My KPAC automatically, it can start to run. It's like, oh, I know how to run that. No more exec format error. This is the big. So if you've been trying to run Korifi or KPAC on ARM64, this is your fix. This is your answer right here. What is this image pull back off? Oh, there we go. We're good. I just got a little choked up. So let's see what's happening. The KPAC webhook. I'm not even gonna. I did this earlier, so this part I'm comfortable with. It's just gonna run because I have QEMU now installed on every node. Now I can run x86 images. So now I can run whatever it is. I can run it, and it might be a little bit slower, but that's fine. I'm running on Raspberry Pis, right? If I want to do this ARM64 stuff and I want things to go fast, I'll go to one of the clouds. I'm surprised that this isn't recovering faster. I'm gonna go look. Here, I'm gonna go look. It's just exact format error. When is the last time it retried? We'll get it. We're gonna keep on going. I'm not even gonna worry about it. We'll keep on going. So now, the next thing, we're gonna go back to our install, KPAC contour. Again, it's just, hey, do these things. Follow the instructions. I have those instructions over here as YAML. KPAC, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna copy over some kubectl commands. I'm gonna apply those. Boink. Install contour, and then set the contours class name. I hope I did that right. Echo $gateway class name. Okay, good. I'm trying to not do clear and do that Control L to clear my screen. So here we go. Now let's go back and look. Are we in good shape? Yes. KPAC is running, and now we have Project Contour running. We're in good. All of our prerequisites are going. We did the dynamic provisioning in the YAML that you didn't see. Metric server is already installed. It's right here, so I don't have to install that. The service bindings controller. Let's do that. So I did it earlier. I did it in a different way. I'm going to try. It says here, at a minimum, you'll need to install the Service Manager IO runtimes. Service binding runtime D. So service binding. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do that minimum. So with the latest version of service bindings, the 1.0 YAML, I'm just going to do kubectl apply. And we'll let that go. Service bindings are coming up. This is easy. We are almost done. can I see? I want to bump this down because I want to see like how long things have taken. All right, not long. The main thing here, and then this is the pre-install config. Do the namespace stuff. Sweet. I can copy and paste that, but I have it over here. I'll copy and paste this section. And we're just going to do that. Hit. There we go. Namespace created. We're in good shape. Go back to our install instructions. Create these registry credentials. I've got that as well. I have the username and password set up in my environment, so I can safely run this command because it's getting those values from my environment. Fantastic. And now we did this step. So now I'm just using my public Docker Hub. I didn't do the TLS certificates. I hope that's not going to kick me in the knees. I'm not going to do this either. I'm just going to scoot and I'm going to install Korifi. And I don't think I changed anything here. Oh, I put in the v0.13.0. I put in for those values. And let's go. Let's see if this works. All right, I'm feeling pretty good. This is gonna run. So full transparency, I stopped once I got dial tone, and I used a different. I used the SSL IP, so now I'm using domains. I register domains so I can have like a full legit API with real certs and all that kind of stuff. But I stopped. I haven't gone that far. I did the SSL IP. I got it up and running. So now, in a second, I think I'm going to have Cloud Foundry running on Raspberry Pis. Oh, it looks like I'm running out of some resources here. And I didn't have that earlier today. I wonder why. So numbers are moving. Why is that so? Why is that interesting? But I'm not going to stress. Again, it's on Raspberry Pis. This is slick. It's only on one node of Raspberry Pi. It's running on SD cards. This is great. So what are you going to deploy once you finish this setup? Well, I can deploy anything. So let's see if we can continue with the install. So now I have a platform that I can push to. I used my regular Docker Hub. Configure authentication. I'm not going to do. I don't want to do the custom ingress. Like, what's the right way for me to bring in an IP? Because I'm running this cluster. I don't want to expose the public IP, right? This is, sitting in my office next to it. So let's see. Create DNS entries. Okay, so let's see what we should do here. I'm going to move this over so I don't share any passwords. So the domain that I gave it was korifi.cc. If you use static provisioning, I didn't. If you use dynamic, discover your endpoint with this. So let's see what this says. So this is the IP that is the VIP, and that's where I want to route traffic. So I can do a couple of things. What I like to do is I don't want to expose. I don't want to have it just be an internal IP. I don't want to put internal IPs. Yeah, this same thing would work with Minikube. I chose K3S, but you could do the same thing with Minikube. I do it. Oh, actually, let me show you this. I think CTX. Yeah, see, I have a kind cluster here, CTX find BCN, CF apps. Oh, I don't have a token. CD fun Sean Tanzu. Explore BCN. Oh. I gotta log in and create a new session. Please hold. It's grabbing all my passwords from my secret store. But yeah, this is just doing, if I go to C vendor, Korifi scripts, and create new CF admin. Now if I do CF apps, you can see that I've got this CF apps. This is my Cloud Foundry where I'm running, different apps. I got this Remix Gateway. I've got the Spring Application Advisor that's running, but this is just running inside of Docker. Kubernetes and Docker is kind on my laptop. This is not a crazy spec machine. This is a 32 gig Apple M1 Max, and it's running all of these things. Where's my? You can do a lot of things on minimal infrastructure. I also run Olama, so I've got all my AI models running locally, and so this is like in an hour, in this like past hour, we were able to go from zero, from just like brand new Raspberry Pis to installing the operating system, installing Kubernetes, and installing Korifi, which is a platform that allows me to do things like push new apps. So let's just go build an app. Let's go here. Let's go to Spring start.spring.io, and let's build a new. We'll use Maven 341. We're gonna use Java. We'll use Java 21 because I don't know if I have the Java 23 build pack, but I'm sure I have Java 21. We're gonna add just the actuator because I don't have to do a whole lot, and web. And we're gonna generate this, and let's just call this like Korifi demo. All right, and download. All right, so now we have Korifi demo. And this is what we do. If I go to downloads now, CD, let's unzip the Korifi demo, CD into that Korifi demo. I don't have to do any, CD Korifi demo. Everything that's here. If I do this and I say tree, like not a lot of code, but it's a Spring Boot app, right? Spring Boot run. It'll run. It'll run on port 8080. I can go and hit localhost 8080 actuator health because I didn't do anything. But I added the actuator so I can see that it's up and running. So I didn't have to do anything. This is just a Spring Boot app running. But now if I want to deploy it to the cloud, I want to deploy it, I want to get it in production, what I want to do. I don't want to write Docker files. I don't want to do anything else. I want to do CF push. Korifi demo. And what it's doing is, in this case, it's using KPack. KPack's got the build packs, and it's got the build packs that are set up, and it's going to look at my source code. And it says, oh, hey, I know what to do with this source code. I know how to build Spring Boot apps because it has the build packs, right? It has a list of build packs. And it said, hey, there's 10 build packs that I'm going to go ahead and use to put this app together. I'm going to give it some certs. I'm going to use Bellsoft Liberica. I'm going to use Sift. I'm going to use Maven. And I'm going to use these to build with all the best practices in mind. I'm going to use these build packs that I put into KPack. I'm going to use these build packs to deliver a really secure and really performant OCI image into this platform. But I didn't have to do anything. I'm done with my app. I don't want to worry about where it goes or what it's doing. I'm letting the platform take care of it. Can you recommend some solutions to public more secure for home? Yes. Let's talk about that. I'm only going to have a few minutes here as I check my calendar because I have a meeting coming up. Where are we? Oh, I got a little bit of time. But yes, we're going to talk about it. I'm going to show you exactly because I run all of my stuff, Deshaun.com. is running right over there. JavaGrunt.com is running right over there. This one takes a little bit because JavaGrunt.com is scaled to 0, but all of these things are running on this cheap infrastructure in my home lab, and there's dozens of domains that are running from my home lab. And I got kids, I got a family. I don't want bad things happening in my network. So yeah, I will happily tell you all the things that I do to make things a little bit more secure. Luckily, I use Spring Boot. That helps a bunch. And I already told you, if you've been watching the show, I'm using Ubuntu. I like Ubuntu. It's got a lot of security by default, and I know how to configure it. And because I have all of this infrastructure is running Ubuntu, I make things similar, right? So when I figure one thing out, I can apply it across the board. So there, that's running. Now, if I do CF apps, now I have this Korifi demo that's running, and I have this this domain, but this is running on the one that I already had. This is running on this machine. This is not running on the Raspberry Pi demo. Oops, that's the one. I have to actuator health. There it is. So it's running. It says, hey, oh, I see that you're running on Kubernetes. Let me spice it up a little bit, and it's running. So that's why I like Cloud Foundry, because that's as much work as I want to do to get to production. That's why I love Spring Boot, because I want production-ready features out of the box. So this is what I do. Icon. I am so glad that you're here. Thank you for dropping in. I'm going to do this. Twitch. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to try to like not blast everything, and I'm going to do a shout out. Shout out to Icon. One of my moderators. I'm glad you're here. So we did that. Let's go back. So that's why I love Cloud Foundry. That's what we do. But let's go back to that other cluster and let's see if we can go one step further. Not on this one. We did the comparison. Let's go back to our installation instructions. We got the IP address, but what I'm going to do is I have this other idea. If I go GitHub, I try to do everything in public. There's no need for me to hide things except for my secrets, my tokens. And I have this idea where on these clusters, let me think of a good example. Maybe I did it here. On the infrastructure. Nope, not that one. I'm sure I did it here. Oh, I bet I put it in tenants. I'll show you. I'll draw a picture. What I like to do, one of these ways of making it more secure, is I've got my little Raspberry Pi cluster. And what I want to do, those are the 4 nodes, right? And we put Korifi around it. Korifi on Kubernetes. What I want to do is I want to deploy another little interface that's called Cloudflare D. You know what though? I have to use Cloudflare D because of the DNS thing. The other option is ngrok. That's what I do a lot of times too. But in this case, I want to automatically register DNS, so I'm going to use Cloudflare D. But what I do is I stand up this service in my cluster, and what that service does is it calls up to either Cloudflare or ngrok, and it says, hey, here I am. If you get traffic, in this case, it's going to be like apps.korifi.cc. If you get traffic for apps.korifi.cc, I want you to send it to me. So I don't have to do any port forwarding. I don't have to do anything. I can move this cluster around. I've got multiple networks that I can run this on. And I can say, hey, any traffic for apps.korifi.cc, I want you to send it to here, to this cluster. And then we'll route it inside of that cluster. And I'm going to do that. So I think I have an example. I just need to jog my memory. No. Cluster, Ampere, infrastructure. Where did I get rid of it? I've been moving a lot of stuff to ngrok, so I might have gotten rid of my example, but I should have an example somewhere. I know that I'm doing it here. Oh, sorry, I'm just jogging my own memory. And I'm at a loss. I don't remember. Kind, Thunder, K3, Kaiju, infrastructure, tenants, local dev. Man, I am not remembering. It has to be this. I'm gonna sit down. As I think about this, I'm gonna noodle. So yeah, hey, thank you. Like this is fun. We're running, but now I want to connect all of the I want to connect all the DNS so that when I deploy, like that Korifi demo, when I deploy it, I want you to be able to access it. That's the next step, and I only have a few minutes to get that done because Heath, you and I have a meeting at 3:45. So let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can find search for Cloudflare D. Here we go. Deshaun.io, Cloudflare D. So let's go here. And let's remind ourselves what's happening. So here's the config that we do for Cloudflare D. I pass in credentials. I don't remember all the steps, but we're going to figure it out real quick. We're going to try to figure it out real quick. I normally deploy concourse. I have a gateway, but we're going to use this. We're going to deploy a service for Cloudflare D, and we're going to deploy it into, we're going to put it in the default namespace. Is that right? We'll see. Let's go look at where we should, maybe it should be in the Korifi namespace. Oh, I'm on this old kind BCN cluster. Let's go back to the one that we just made. Kube CTX, coffee, software. This is the cluster that we just did. And now let's go look. This is our API. I think I want it in the Korifi, but we'll see. We can always make changes. So this is the config. I don't know if that's the latest version. We'll take a look. It'll tell us. We'll put in a config map. So let's just copy all this. And we're going to use that as our baseline, and we'll make some changes. So I'm going to put it over here, and I have a little like notepad over here. And I would put it on the screen, but it's got some passwords in it because I was going fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that. I'm going to change the namespace. I'm going to put it into default for now. Default. Labels networking knative .dev visibility. I'm going to remove. I don't need anything knative in here. Oh, that's the YAML for deploying it as a knative service. Let's do Cloudflare D. Cloudflare D service YAML. Cloudflare D YAML. We're going to do deployment, Cloudflare, 2 replicas, sure. Here's an example. We're just going to take this. We're going to take this, exactly this, and we're going to modify it. So let's copy it, and let's throw it over here, and we'll make some quick changes to those defaults. All right, and those defaults, if I'm going down the list, apps v1 deployment Cloudflare D, sure, we'll use 2 replicas. Template Cloudflare D, that's not the right version. We were using 2024.6, 2024.6 over here. That's 6.0. So let's just do that, make that change. What other changes? Things can live in the same spot. Ready, cool. We can take all those values, we'll leave everything the same. Oh, did I put I'm going to put the namespace. I'm going to put it into the default namespace, just like I did here. So I'm going to do metadata namespace, and I'm just going to throw in the default because I want it to work. I want it to route for everything. And I think this is a good spot to put it. And I could be completely wrong. Namespace default. And then the name of the tunnel you want to run. I'm down here. Credentials file. All right, so now I need to go make a tunnel. And I have automation for this on one of my laptops because I do a lot of the stuff on the plane. But let's go. I should probably not show this stuff on screen, but I kind of want to. But I better not. Here, let's do this. I'm gonna go to cloudflare.com, log in. I have this new domain called Korifi.cc, and I'm going to create a new tunnel. Network. Where did it move to? Access. Speed, caching, worker routes, rules, network traffic. Load balancing, smart routing. Where did it move to? I don't know where my tunnels moved to. Let's do it this way. Cloudflare D Kubernetes example. Cloudflare D's expose Kubernetes done. Yep, Cloudflare D tunnel login. I think we can do that. We're going to create a new tunnel. Let's go. Boop, new. Just make sure. Can I log in? You have an existing. Right, we're good. So then I can do, let's create a new tunnel. But we're going to call it. All right. Brew update. We want to use 2025.1.0. Brew upgrade.
So.
Hey, I am trying to hurry.
You are?
Yep. I'm trying to hurry through the thing. What's going on? Yep.
When did we decide we were taking your car?
Huh?
Didn't we decide we were taking your car?
Yep.
Oh, Can I be the one in the back and the one seat?
All right, are you getting it loaded up?
Mom's finishing loading up suitcase.
Did you do the driveway?
No, Dad already did it yesterday.
Okay, I'll be done here in a little bit. All right, we're upgraded. It said something authentication error up here, but let's see. I don't want it to be example total. I want it to be Korifi CC. Authentication error. Wait, but why is it still saying 2024 to 10.0? Let me see if I can go grab the latest version. Yep. ARM64. No, I'm not Linux ARM64. Wait, so how come it didn't install the latest version? Didn't do the formula. It's not symlinked. Couldn't do that. You want to remove it. Do this. Link cloud clarity. Cloud clarity create authentication error. Let's do that. Cloud clarity login. Tunnel login. Says I've got an existing cert, which would overwrite if this intentional move or delete the file. Run this command again. And let's do this. Fantastic. What is it saying? Sure. Select the zone you want. Oh, I want to add it to this one. Yep. Close this window and start your Cloudflare tunnel. Okay. Fantastic. So now, back here, we're cruising. Let's go and create a tunnel, Korifi CC. Chose, boom, keep this file secret. Uh-oh. I'm giving you my secrets. Show the credentials, the tunnel. Tunnel created. Fantastic. Now, we're here, we did that. It was good. Upload the tunnel credential files to Kubernetes. Let's do this, except we're gonna fill in our stuff. So I'm just gonna, okay, copy. No, I'll do it like this. I'm gonna type this command, but I'm gonna move over here so I can see it. Oh, I gotta do this. kubectl create secret generic tunnel credentials from file equals credentials.json equals users Sean .cloudflare at what was it? 700. Use that. And it might put my passwords out there. So I'm going to do this over here. It didn't. It said, hey, those secrets are created. All right, fantastic. And now it says, associate your tunnel with a DNS record. Go to Cloudflare D, add this. So I'm going to take that same thing, and I'm just going to do .cfargo.tunnel.com. I will do that. I think I can show this. Right? I think I can show this. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a record for the API, and that API dot Korifi.cc. This is me following the instructions. Here, we're going to add API.Korifi.cc and star.apps.Korifi.cc. That one might be hard. So let's do that. So we're here. We're adding API, and this is a CNAME API, and I want to send it to this. This is my tunnel dot cfargo tunnel. Where was that example? Sorry, I'm going to find that window. Here we go. Yeah, .cfargotunnel.com. .cfargotunnel.com. So now that I've added that, save. Now, API.Korifi.cc. Now, I'm saying, hey, send that upstream. When you get that, when you get API.Korifi.cc, when you get that, send it to this tunnel, that 700 tunnel, because this is where I'll be listening. Fantastic. So far, so good. All right. I care. So here we go. We've done that. We've done that. Now you can create multiple CNAME records doing the same tunnel. I can. Alternatively, you can perform this step with the command line. Cool. Deploy it. So now let's just kubectl apply that YAML that we made. But in the YAML, right, I learned that we have a 2025. Cloudflare D 2025.1.0. So I'm going to change our 2024.6 to 2025.1.0. Now I've been doing this, like using Cloudflare D. I've been using that. I was building my own ARM64 versions of those images for a long time. So I've been doing this for a while. So let's do this. I'll put this into a file. Let's go to fun Sean dev Korifi Pi, and let's nano the Cloudflare D YAML, and these are the changes that we just made. It says, hey, here's my metrics. Ingress, it says, hey, this is something I have to change. The only one we've done is for API.Korifi.cc. I want that to go to where do I want that to go to? I want that to go to here. This service, this one. Envoy-Korifi in Korifi Gateway. So I don't need that IP address. I just need this. kubectl get service. I need the right. Oops. This. So there's my IPs. This is my type. It's a service. So the service URL is it's service name namespace dot cluster dot local, right? Something like that. I have that example. Is it here?
Oh, it's hard.
Right here. Hey.
Dad.
Yep. Hold on. Nope. Hold on. Yeah, you gotta wait. I'm in the middle of a thought, so give me 10 more minutes.
10 more minutes?
Yep.
How long does it take you to drink?
Here we go. That is my. That's what I want to replace it with. So, where did I put it? You know, the Cloudflare DYAML. Let's go to the bottom. Here, for the API, I want it to be this. I want it to go to the Korifi API .cluster.local. Yep. And that's service name. So it's this. Oops. It's this envoy dash Korifi dash gateway. Envoy Korifi dash gateway. Right? And that's the load balancer. That's the same service. So that should work. So now I'm going to deploy this. And this hello goes to this hello world service, which we don't have deployed, and that's okay. Boop, boop, boop. And now kubectl apply -f cloudflare d.yaml. So now what's happening? So I'm going to wrap up here in 5 minutes, and I'm going to go take care of my son, and then I'm going to hang out with Keith here. But after that, I can give you a buzz. We're getting ready to head to Colorado. So let's see if we can get this done. I'm very glad you're here. So now that I think I have stuff set up, let's see if we can do this. I don't need to skip SSL validation because I've set up my API.Korifi.cc. Because I'm using Cloudflare D, I'm going to get a SSL certificate, I believe. So yeah, let's see. Back here, my install instructions. Let's do this CF API. Boink, not that one. I'm going to try it without the skip SSL validation. And my API is at Korifi.cc. Oh, what happened? All right, so setting API endpoint, unexpected response, bad gateway, API.Korifi.cc, bad gateway. Cloudflare, I got a 500. So did it work? Do I have, I put it into here. So it's running. I have 2 instances of Cloudflare. Let's go take a look at what we see. Starting the tunnel, it says the hello world. Failed to sufficiently increase, that's fine. The service may be down. Unable to reach the origin service. It may not responding. So this, oh, is that the right port? Let's go back and look. I may have configured it wrong. Oops, let's go back over here. And let's look at our Envoy Korifi. Is listening on 443 and 80. Envoy Korifi gateway, cluster IP, and that's the cluster IP that we saw. It says, hey, I can't get to that cluster IP. Why? 102.224. Why couldn't it get to that cluster IP? External traffic policy is local, internal cluster. I'm close. I'm very close. I'm very close. Let's go back and take a look at our YAML. And Envoy Korifi. So it had the right IP. Let's see if we can do it this way. Let's see if that makes a difference, which I don't really expect it to, but they're running. Same logs. It says, oh, but this time it's showing the 80. I expect those to disappear. Let's do this. Hey, I want you to delete and give me a new one with the new configs. Because I deployed new configs. All right, now let's try our command again. Let's go see if we can connect to that API. Oh, it still failed. And let's look at our logs real quick. Maybe it's the other one. Yep. Okay, so the service may be down. So this time, I wonder if this is a namespace issue. How come? It shouldn't be. It's not responding to traffic from Cloudflare D. So Cloudflare D tried to hit it. And it's like, yeah, no, that didn't work. So this is what I want. But I've done something wrong. Oh, is it this? I may have ran into this before. In my other example, when I do send traffic, I want the traffic that gets received by Envoy, I want it to know, like, hey, yeah, I'm sending you to this service, but the traffic, that HTTP header, I want you to know that I was going to api.korifi.cc. Let's add that real quick. Because it's not set up to listen for traffic from that service URL. Where am I? You stay there. Let's go here. I'm feeling like this is it. Here we go. The origin request is api.korifi.cc. Do that. Let's go bounce these guys. And then let's try our CF API. This would be a great way to end the day. But alas, I have no such luck. This is the route that I'm going to go. Is I'm going to use Korifi, or I'm going to use Cloudflare D to handle the ingress. And I'm going to pass. Wait, now. yeah, I'm gonna pass this in. This is the route I'm gonna go. I don't know what I've done. It's not top of mind, but this is good. Like, this is, I have it. I'm this close, but I'm gonna drop off and take care of the kids, and I'm gonna hang out with Keith here for a minute. So thanks for hanging out. It was fun. I have Korifi running our Raspberry Pis. Next one I'll do is I'll connect the dots and we'll make sure that you can hit it. I want to be able to deploy CF push and then have you hit this stuff that's running on my Raspberry Pi clusters. That's it. So everybody, like, thanks a bunch. Thanks for hanging out with me and my Raspberry Pis, and yeah, and the good questions and all the other stuff. I hope to see you again soon. Enjoy, and yeah, get your stuff in production. Take care.